Howdy everybody, I hope you guys are all doing wonderful and great. Let's jump into our first horror story of the day. Our first story is by OwnFun9765 and is titled, D&D Game Ruined, I'm Told It's All My Fault. TLDR, new Dungeons & Dragons group, one player dating the DM, homebrewed OP characters, knew the whole story, rules lawyered everyone, yelled at me until I cried, and then rage quit the group chat twice, then insulted me and my girlfriend. The group fell apart. This was our first real D&D campaign as a group of longtime friends 6+ years. Most of us were brand new players. The DM is dating player B, which ended up mattering way more than I expected. Red flags from session 1. Player B fully homebrewed his character using ChatGPT. His character was wildly OP for level 3. The DM approved it. Well, it's dark now in this world. Whatever, we'll deal with it. So what I'm kind of curious about is how ChatGPT homebrewed this person's character. Like, did they do the backstory and lore for them, or did they give them abilities? I'm not going to knock somebody for using AI to write their character's backstory. Personally, I don't think it's a fun way to play the game. But I would be curious what abilities they have homebrewed that make them so OP. Is it player B that made that up, or is it ChatGPT that came up with that? Out of curiosity. Also, it's wild to me that the DM is approving broken homebrew, but I guess if they're that person's partner, I can also understand that being a problem, potentially. We later learned that player B helped write the campaign and knew the plot twists ahead of time. Already felt kind of weird, but we rolled with it. Session 3, the blow up. I'm playing a druid and misunderstood my wild shape stats mid-fight. My fault. Admitted I was wrong and said I'd review my character after the session. Player B would not drop it. He and another player shoved their phones in my face with rule pages while everyone sat there waiting. I asked to stop and said I'd fix it later. Player B kept pressing me, talking over me, and correcting me publicly. I got overwhelmed, packed up, and said I was done for the night. That is wildly confrontational. I can understand mention to someone that you don't think their abilities work the way they think they are playing them, but the DM is the one who ultimately makes that final call, not a random player at the table. And to press and talk over somebody is just way too much, especially if OP mentions that they will correct it later. This sounds like a situation where the DM is new and doesn't want to step in and make a final call, or the DM doesn't want confrontation with their partner and is deciding to sit down and just shut up. Either way, though, the DM needs to have final say, and player B and the other player need to stop being rules lawyers. Also, messing up an ability is perfectly okay. It will happen. We misread things, we remember things incorrectly, or we just plain forget. It happens. We are human. You correct and move on with all the bitching and moaning that's coming from player B here. Now, let's jump back to the player helping write the campaign. It's not a horrible thing, but they're clearly really involved in it. So does the DM not want to write a campaign? Which is fine. But instead of having a player write the campaign and know everything, and then you having to kind of go to that player to be the expert on things, and the arbiter of the world, I would instead suggest running a pre-made. I personally wouldn't want to write a campaign that I was a player in, or help write a campaign that I was a player in. For me, part of the fun of being a player is getting to watch the entire story unfold, twists and all. Player B started yelling that I was, quote, ruining the game and ruining the vibe of his house. I ended up crying and left. After the session, player B DM'd me to keep yelling at me, said I embarrassed him, ruined everybody's night, and accused me of not listening to him because he's a man and I'm a lesbian. I apologized to the group anyway. Everyone else told me I did nothing wrong and wanted me to stay. Player B got mad I involved the group. Okay, player B is not mad that you involved the group. Player B is mad that you made them look like a jackass to the rest of the party. And I mean, made them look like a jackass, I mean, they made themselves look like a jackass. OP should not have apologized at all. This is all OP's, quote, fault because player B doesn't want to deal with the consequences of them acting like an asshole. For someone that has been a friend for 6+ years, player B really is a piece of shit. They have no right to act the way they did. If somebody treated you badly enough that you cried and left, you need to be done with that group. It's not worth the pain. That person then continues to DM you to continue to talk shit to you. You need to leave that just friend group. You should not go back to a table where a player is berating you to the point of tears because you misunderstood an ability. Not even a DM has the right to talk to somebody that way. The game is meant to be fun. It is not meant to be painful. If it is painful enough to you that you are crying from it, not because, wow, the story was so moving, or wow, I'm just really sad that everything didn't go my way, that's a different kind of tear. But for somebody to berate you, yell at you, talk down to you in such a way, that is not acceptable, that is not appropriate, and that should not happen. Ever. Thank God the sun's back. More chaos later. Turns out another player had been privately telling player B his homebrew was OP since day one. Player B rage quit the group chat, came back with, quote, house rules, and said nobody should talk about the, quote, incident anymore, which was me crying. Later, he announced new players, including his 16-year-old brother with a homebrew character, without asking anybody. When multiple people couldn't make a session, he blew up in chat saying he's the only one who wants to play and left again. Then he privately messaged my girlfriend, calling me a fucking crash out, insulting me again, and telling her to, quote, grow up. At that point, I blocked him everywhere. The group fell apart. My girlfriend is now DMing for just me. Okay, player B is a jackass. How the hell the friend group hasn't fallen apart sooner is wild to me. This person is showing their true colors here, that they are, in fact, a piece of trash. No one should be friends with them. They have no right to act the way that they are. They have no right to force house rules in a game. If it's house rules for how people act when you're at their home to play, that has its limits. Ask people to clean up after themselves or not, leave the toilet seat up or something. Stuff like that is fine. But to tell them that they can't talk about a time that you were acting like a piece of shit and made a friend cry, no, that's too far. Also, bringing in more players to a table without consulting the rest of the table it's rude. To be honest, it's just rude. It's not wrong to pitch the idea, to be like, hey, I have a friend that really wants to join, or hey, my younger brother would really like to join. I think it would be really good for him to be here. I think he would have fun. I think it would be great for the table if he joined. That's one thing. But you especially, one, you need to have the DM's permission, because the DM is going to have to then wrangle that new player. But it is also appropriate to ask the rest of the table, can we bring this person on? Anytime I brought a new player into my campaigns, and I've done it a couple times now where I am partially through a campaign and somebody wants to join and I have the room for it, and I'm like, cool, I think this will work out pretty well. I will always go to my table and go, hey, yada yada has said that they'd be interested in joining the campaign. I think they would be a good fit. I think we have the room to accommodate them if we wanted to. What is everybody's thoughts? We'll give their honest thoughts and opinions. And if things are good, people join that table. And if they aren't, then that person doesn't join. It happens. But you should talk that out with everybody, because there might be reasons why somebody doesn't want to play with somebody. It could be, hey, I played with this person before, they were really difficult, or hey, they stole the spotlight time, or hey, they cheat, they fudge their dice rolls, or it could just be, I don't vibe well with this person, I'm not very friendly with this person, I'm more acquaintances, I'm not comfortable with this. Or it could be something like, I think we have enough people at the table. We have, 8 players. I think that's enough. I think we struggle enough with spotlight time. Maybe it's not even anything to do with the player. It's the fact that you have a certain number. But talk it out, get opinions, get ideas, even if you want this to happen, because you might get a new perspective that you don't have and that you aren't thinking of, because other people will consider other things. That being said, I'm glad OP is playing in a safer environment. But I really am shocked this DM did absolutely nothing, and that the rest of the players didn't call out player B more when they were acting the way they did. Hey. Did you know I stream on Twitch throughout the week? Yeah. I got links down in the description. I would love it if you come hang out. Let's get back to the video, though. Our last story for today is going to be from Significant Mud 7928, and is titled Player That Does Nothing in My Game. My best friend Alice recently contacted me asking if I could host a text-based game for her players. She's too busy IRL and cannot host the game. The grand finale of that campaign is near, and one of her players, Larry, contacted me to run the grand finale. I agreed, and Alice sent me the main plotline and asked me to create an epic adventure for her players. The game lasted 6 weeks, and it became my nightmare. Okay, I would personally not want to pick up a campaign midway through and create a grand finale for something I didn't make originally, because that is an undertaking. I'm also a little bit confused story-wise here. Did Alice ask OP to GM and run the game, or did Larry? Or did they both? It kind of sounds like they both did. And did like Alice ask her to do it, and then Larry's like, yes, please like run the grand finale for Alice's campaign? I'm a little confused there. Larry is the very reason this game became my nightmare. For some context, they had been running this campaign for about a year, and he told me that he is deeply invested in this campaign. In Session 0, Larry left a deep impression on me. His role-playing was exceptionally eloquent as he delved deep into his character's emotions and explained it to me. However, in 6 weeks of gameplay following Session 0, he personally role-played no more than 20 times. Most of the plot was driven by other players. He almost never participated in conversations with NPCs himself, and during combat he would just leave the game and let me control his character. Okay, so they're playing via text, and he ups and just leaves during combat? It really can't be that hard to monitor text for combat, right? Like, you could be walking around with like your phone out with Discord or whatever. I assume they're playing via Discord or something, and just tippy tappy type. Like it's that difficult. This doesn't sound like it's played by post, so I think what they're doing is they're all sitting down and typing and texts out to each other on like Discord or something. Oddly non-participatory for somebody who's so deeply invested in the game here. Perhaps Larry is somebody who's just super interested in the story because he likes to watch things unfold. Maybe Larry likes to watch. At first, I thought that writing thousands of words of detailed description for every roleplay session was indeed exhausting, and perhaps he simply couldn't keep up with the pace of the game. I even deliberately left time for him to respond. But by the middle of the game, he had become completely silent and almost stopped showing up in the game. On the rare occasions when he did participate, he would demand that other players show him notes and describe the plot to him. He even missed the final battle, speaking only once during the entire battle. Okay, if Larry is so invested but never present, I personally would be concerned. I would be really concerned if a player was so out of the loop. If you are not invested, that's okay. Perhaps you need to step away, or perhaps you need to find a new game. To make matters worse, every time he did show up, he would post thousands of words of roleplay content that often had little to do with the actual ongoing events, completely ruining the tempo of the game. This was a text-based game, and under normal circumstances, it was not difficult to maintain coherent gameplay without contradicting the descriptions I had just posted. During the final battle, he even mixed up the name of the deity he worshipped with that of the BBEGs. Given his claim that he was deeply invested in the game, this makes no sense to me. With the suggestion of another player, I used a content detector to check every piece of roleplay he had posted and discovered that he had been using ChatGPT to generate all of his roleplay content from the very first Session 0. To make matters worse, the fact that this request came partly from my best friend just makes me impossible to leave the game or remove Larry from the game. I just don't get it, like, why? He doesn't engage in combat, he doesn't roleplay himself, and doesn't even show up. So why did he ask me to run this game for him in the first place? I am not a native speaker of English, so this post might be hard to understand. Sorry. Okay, makes sense that it could be AI writing his posts, especially if they are very wordy and off topic. AI has a tendency to do that, I find, especially the wordy part. Like, it's very wordy, but there's no actual depth to what it's being said. Gotta ask, though, why be so invested in play-by-post and use an AI to play for you? I honestly wouldn't have run the game to begin with, just flat out. I am not sure why OP even agreed to it. Even if a dear friend asked me to finish their campaign up, I am not picking up someone else's story. It won't be the same. My tone will be different. I will rule things differently. I will run things differently. The overall vibe will be much different than what the original campaign was. On top of the fact that I have never, and likely will never, play a text-based version of a ttrpg. That's not the way I want to play. Personally, just not for me. For me, I enjoy the banter, I enjoy getting put on silly voices, I like watching tokens run around on a battle map when possible, so it just wouldn't be for me. I hope OP learned a lesson here, not that they like messed up or anything, but hopefully they learned to maybe not pick up other people's campaigns, and if, sometimes it's better to let a campaign die than to trudge through it, because that's 6 weeks of pain you just picked up, and you could have just not had 6 weeks of pain. It's a really rough 6-week lesson. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I'd love to hear thoughts in those comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and catch me on Twitch if you're interested. Woo! Links are down in the description. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, everybody.